Hi sewing friends, I'm Karina from Lifting Pins and Needles, and I'm coming to you from Brazil, from my hotel room. I still haven't moved, and I have sort of good news to share about my future sewing machine because I don't really have it yet. So it's been quite a journey. You might wonder, like, why don't you just go and buy one, right? Like, what's the deal? Why don't I have a sewing machine yet? And it's actually, yeah, it's a bit, I don't know if you would understand. Basically, we get here to Brazil on some sort of, we don't have like a proper visa to be here yet, just a tourist one. And so hubby's doing lots and lots of paperwork with his work contract. And in Brazil, there's loads of things you have to do to be legally here. Get all sorts of ID cards and numbers, and we've been to several offices of like immigration, and it doesn't happen quickly. So basically hubby hasn't signed the contract yet because he still doesn't have one number that the government needs, like for it to be legal or whatever. And if he hasn't got a contract, it means he doesn't get paid and he doesn't have a bank account. And yeah, there's a certain amount of money that we access for the transfer, like I don't know what to call it, but lots of people, well, in some jobs you get like an allowance when you've moved countries to set up your house. So we're waiting for that, and if he can't have a bank account, he can't get that, and so we don't have that much money yet to buy things. We don't have a car to help us get to places. We're very rural, like we can't go anywhere basically. The other day I was quite brave and I took a bus to go to a nearby town called Artur Nogueira. And I had been there before years and years ago with my parents, and it was a small town. I was quite surprised now to find it huge. I mean, not huge, but bigger. So I have filmed a few clips there and I'll show you that. I've been inside the campus basically since we got here. I haven't like been outside. So I am outside of the university. It's a little bus stop. And in a few minutes I'm going to take the local bus to go to a town called Artur Nogueira, and I've been told there's a fabric shop there. I have to pick up some toiletries, shampoos and stuff like that, and I'm going to go see what happens with the fabrics. Hopefully I can get at least one piece to calm my sewing nerves. I could actually, if I had fabric, I could actually cut things out and prep them for when I do have a machine, so see how that goes. So as always, I'm sweating and I made it to this little shop called Bacaninha, and they've told me they have some fabric here, and I'm not sure if you can see right there some fabric. I think this shop has like loads of other things too, so I'm just gonna go in and have a look. I found a place where they sell magazines, and voila, Berta Style in Portuguese. So number 42, January 2018. There's a vintage Berta, but I'm not that into vintage. And then there's a Brazilian one over there. So there's quite a lot of sewing magazines. I'm super pumped about it. I found a shop with sewing machines, but I don't know the brands. I do know that one, Singer. A basic one. That's the price. And this is another Singer. So I mean, I always buy simple machines. I just want them to be good, and I have my doubts about Singer because it's not as good as it used to be. But anyway, I've got many shops to visit. Let's check out this thunderstorm. It's just ridiculous. Okay, so this was about a week ago that I filmed this. That bus that leaves outside of the university means I have to walk about 2 kilometers from my hotel to outside of the university, which is not much, but when it's 30 degrees at 8 in the morning, it's like, oh, yeah. So it was a pretty big sacrifice. I took the bus at 9:10. It only passes through there every single hour, like 9:10, 10:10, 11:10. So if I miss the bus, I missed it for another hour. So I had to be on time. It took about half an hour to get there. And then the bus comes back from that town to the university every hour as well. So I only had about an hour and a half to be there. I walked around shops, looked at furniture, and as you see there, I was in a shop looking at fridges and stuff, and I saw some sewing machines, as you saw. Now, the machines that they had there are not the ones that I would ever want to buy. Now, they're very basic. I know Singer is not what it used to be. The ones they had there just looked so plasticky, and yeah, I don't want to go that route again. I had to buy a sewing machine of that style in Bolivia because there was no other choice really. But this time I am getting a better sewing machine. So it was quite funny to see those machines there in such a small little town, you know. And the funny thing about that shop with fabrics that I showed you the outside of, it's so annoying. And they had lovely fabrics, like lots of lightweight fabrics, crepes, and lots of viscose. They had lovely fabrics, lots of stretch cottons and denims with stretch, really thin denims, you know, because the weather here. Chambray, lovely shop. Annoying though, because the sales lady would follow me around the whole time. Like she was literally like 50 centimeters away from me the whole time. And she's like, what do you need? And I said, I'm looking. And she's like, there's a phrase they say here, fica à vontade, means stay comfortable. It means like, oh, you know, feel at home. That's what it means basically. And every sales lady will say that in any shop you go there, like, oh, make yourself at home. But then they follow you all the time. So that is not making myself at home, where I feel really self-conscious that someone's watching my every single move. I want to touch a fabric and then they jump on you like, do you need me to get it out for you? And they're like trying to be extra kind. But in my view, it's just being extra annoying. So I couldn't film inside. I couldn't do anything because the woman would not leave me alone. Yeah, so that was annoying. Every single fabric I saw there was like 25 reais, which is the currency here, reais. And that is about $8 a meter-ish, which is pretty steep, like for what I'm accustomed to buying. I guess I have to switch. You know, when you've lived in a country like Bolivia where everything is so cheap, you go to like another place and then it's like, oh, $8 a meter is like pretty expensive. When I know that there's fabric that's like $30, $50 a meter anywhere else in the world, you know, and people buy it and stuff. But yeah, I think I will go back there at some point, knowing what to expect. And I'm more confident now to speak in Portuguese and tell the lady, just leave me alone, I'll have a look around, you don't have to follow me, because that is actually what I have to say to them when they do that, in a nice way, you know, with a smile. So I did my research online and decided the only way I could get a good sewing machine here is to buy online here, because loads of shops that will sell you the sewing machine and ship it to you for free. So I looked around, forums, read, whatever. I decided not to go with Singer or Brother. They sold here a lot, like you can see those everywhere. And what I started seeing was a lot of Janomes. So from the basic Janomes, very, very basic, few stitches, like typically like the machine I would have before, you know, to the more advanced ones, you know. So I settled on two models and started comparing them and investigating about them, and I'll pop in a picture of each of them when I talk about them. So there was the Janome 2018DC, which is a really nice sewing machine. It's got 18 stitches, more than enough. I mean, I basically use a straight stitch and zigzag stitch if ever, and the buttonholes. That's all I use really in practicality. So 18 stitches I don't need. Well, maybe the stretch stitch would be practical as well. So this one has 18. It's got 3 types of automatic buttonhole. It can do it for you automatically. It's got all of the things like the needle threader and like all those electronic things, and the screen and start stop button. You can adjust how fast you want the machine to go. So this one does 820 stitches per minute. It's way fancier than any machine I've ever had. Now, what I like about Janome and the reviews is that they say it's a really solid machine, that it can take quite a few layers of thick fabrics, that it's a workhorse basically. Lots of good reviews on this machine. And the price for this one here locally is about $320, around that. So I showed my husband that one, and he's like, you like it? And I'm like, yeah, I like it. He's like, but get a better one. He always does the same thing because he doesn't know anything about sewing, right? So he thinks if a machine has 50 stitches, you should get that one. That's what he thinks. And in Bolivia, when he went to buy the machine, I told him, yeah, they only sell Toyotas and this and that. And I'd chosen even a more basic model than the one that he brought home, which was also basic, but a bit less basic than the one I chosen, you know. So he's like, no, you deserve it. You've been through so much. And he really knows that sewing is a big thing for me. And he wants to get me a good, better, like the, you know, better sewing machines. So I'm gonna go with it, huh? I'm not gonna decline. So I started searching for a model that would be sort of similar but with a bit more extra things, and I found the Janome 2030 QDC, which has 30 types of stitches that I don't need. I mean, it's got things that I really don't need, but it's got things that I do like that they're there, and it makes all the difference when like you're making a decision, right? So it's got those 30 stitches. It also has the automatic buttonhole maker, which is great because I will be making buttonholes this year. It also comes with a blind hem foot, which I really am interested in. Anyway, these machines have like metal pieces inside that makes them more silent when you're sewing. I've had machines that are like chugga chugga chugga, like anyone can know that I'm sewing because they make so much noise, and these promise to be quite quiet machines. And this one comes with all these accessories for quilting, and like this extension board you put next to the machine. I'll pop a picture here. And I think that's really cool because it makes it much more comfortable when you're sewing. And it comes with a walking foot and all those quilting accessories that I've never had. Now, I have made basic quilts, and I like making basic quilts with big humongous squares. I love home decor, and I always had a really difficult time doing it without the walking foot, you know, when you're going through the layers and stuff. So this is why I chose this sewing machine, because I would like to, not that I'll ever be a quilter, but I like using the scraps that I have. And I'm also interested in making, I really want to try making bags, like big bags that I can take for shopping, like, you know. So I wasn't able to do that with the machines I had in the past because they weren't strong enough. So that is the machine I have chosen. The price locally here is $456. I mean, these prices are, I believe they would be more expensive than if I went and looked for them in the States because they have to be imported. But you know, that's what you get. That's what I have. So there's a difference of $130 around there between the first one that I talked to you about and now the one that I've chosen. So I think in the next 10 days or so, I might have it with me when my husband gets his bank account, and we can buy online, and then I can get it shipped to me. So locally, I can't go to a place where they sell them physically where I could go and just pay cash up front. There is no place close where I can go and do that, and especially not having a car. So the online route is the best way. And once I buy it, I can have it delivered within 5 days or something like that. So very exciting. I'm very excited about what's to come. I hope you're excited with me. If you have experience with Janomes or have an opinion, let me know in the comments. I still haven't bought it, you know, so if you think I'm making a big mistake, let me know. Really, I don't see another machine that I would like to have. I've looked at the brothers, the ones that are available here, and the reviews have been mixed. I have used a basic brother before. I am not sure. Anyway, let me know below in the comments, and yeah, that's all for now. Bye.